Hola mi gente, Joe Barreto back with you at the Credit Card Connection. I'm glad you can join me. Today's video is coming about a conversation I had last weekend at my nephew's birthday party, where he had his friends over, all in their late 20s and early 30s, talking about adulting and bills and the economy and credit and so on, and whether or not it's feasible to transfer a balance from one credit card to another credit card, especially if that credit card's offering no APR for either a year or 15 months or so on. And I explained to them, yeah, that, especially if you have a lot of money in one card getting 22% interest on it, you're better off possibly transferring that card. Now, what I started to explain to them was that a couple of weeks ago, when I did my last video on the Discover It card, I mentioned that they were offering a 0 APR balance for 15 months that you could transfer any other cards over to that. So I did that with the Discover It card, and that's on this video over here that I did. And you're going to see what I'm going to tell you is going to surprise you about the balance transfer process. Wasn't as easy or as smooth as I thought it was going to be. So if you hang around till the end of this video, you're going to see why. There was a few curveballs thrown in there that I wasn't expecting, but now going forward, I know how to better deal with them. And I'm hoping that what I'm going to tell you now is going to help you avoid these pitfalls if you decide to apply for a balance transfer. So when I applied for the Discover card, like I said, great card, great cashback, my first cashback card, 5% in certain categories. This quarter it's for gas and tap to pay purchases. But it also came with, 0 APR for 15 months on balance transfers. So what I decided to do for this channel was take my credit card balance that I had on a JetBlue card from the Barclays Bank. I purchased tickets for a vacation, and I had about $9,900 in that particular account with a $31,500 credit limit. So I was using about 31% credit utilization, okay? When I applied for the Discover card, at the application I put that I was going to transfer a balance, and I did so. Now, I get the card from Discover, and they told me it takes about 7 to 10 days for that balance transfer to take place. So it's not immediate, okay? So just know that going forward, when you do a balance transfer, there is a lag time of a week to 2 weeks possibly. So I transferred over the $9,900 balance to Discover. Great. Credit score was in the 800s, no drama, no headaches. All of a sudden, I get my phone on, I think it was July 10th or 11th, all these alerts from Experian, the Fico app, Credit Karma, telling me that there was a huge decrease in my credit score. I said, how could that be? I didn't charge anything new. I didn't do anything different. When I looked, it was that my credit score went down 59 points. 59 on just, I believe it was the Equifax side. And on TransUnion, it went down 50 or 53 points. So I went into a little bit of a panic mode. I said, okay, I got to get to the bottom of this. What's happening? So I start looking in the apps. I go to Credit Karma. I do Experian.com. I do all these things. And I noticed that Discover already had made the report that I had this new account. Now, Discover's credit limit was $15,000, and that's important. Keep that in mind, $15,000 credit line. I transferred over $9,900. So I'm at about a 66% credit utilization. That's first and foremost, okay? Then I said, wait, but that still doesn't make sense because I should be saving because I just wiped out the Barclays balance of $9,900. When I look further, Barclays still showed that I owed $9,900 on my report. So what happened was the reason I took such a beating on my balance transfer, on my FICO scores because of the balance transfer was because Discover reported early in the month and Barclays didn't report at all. So I said, okay, I went back and I looked and I noticed that in months past, Barclays reports after the 18th of every month. So took a deep breath. I said, let me wait a little over a week. So on the 19th, last week, I look again And I noticed now that they reported the zero balance. Perfect. But my score still didn't go up. Now the 20th comes in, I get an alert. Your credit score has increased. Now when I look, the score went up 33 points. Now I was happy it went up 33 points, but it wasn't the 59-point drop that I had to start with. I said, what the heck happened now? There's still a difference. So this is why I'm making this video. The process wasn't difficult in transferring the balance. You literally put in whatever your credit card number or account number is on one card, put it to the new one, wait the week and a half, and it's in there. What you can't control for is when they report to the credit agencies. And in this case, one was about 10 days behind the other. So for 10 days, it showed that I had increased my overall credit utilization across all my cards by almost $10,000, which is huge, okay? Now, when I got the updated score, the 33-point score went up, I realized, I said, now I know why it didn't go up the full 59. Now, if you remember at the beginning of the video, I said I was transferring $9,900 from almost a $32,000 credit line. So I was utilizing 31% or so. I moved that over to a card that only had $15,000 in credit. So my utilization doubled to 66. So that utilization on one card, especially because it's on the personal side, it's not on a business card, so it does report. I have such a high utilization on that one card now that my score, even though it went up, it didn't go up the full amount because the utilization on that particular card was twice as much as it was before. So why do I say all this? Balance transfer can be a great option for you if you're paying astronomical interest on a balance you have on one card or across several cards, and transferring it over to a zero APR card for 15 months or 18 months. There's several cards out there that offer 15 months, like the Discover It, the Bank of America card even has one for 18 months. So it's good to do that because you're going to save yourself interest. You could pay it down quicker just by hitting the principal. But what you also have to factor in is how much of a balance did you have to transfer over? How large was that credit line that you had on that card that you're transferring from? So don't be surprised if even if you're transferring the same amount of money, and this is huge, I transferred the same amount of money over from one to the other, but the credit lines were drastically different. One was twice as much as the other. So that meant my utilization was twice as much as the other. That's why my score right now, which was in the low 800s, right now on one of them it's 768 and 785. It didn't get back up to 800 because that utilization is still too high. So now my next task is going to be knocking that bill down, getting that utilization down on that particular card so that I can bring my scores back up. So if you found any of this information that I just talked to you about today, just that had value or at least entertaining, I did this so that you guys could see that, transferring a balance is a great idea for some things and it'll help you out in the long run. But in the short term, you might get a few dings here and there with your FICO score, with your overall credit utilization, but it'll work itself out. But just be wary of when you do it and when each credit card reports to the credit agencies. As always, I thank you for watching. Until next time.